do the surgeries on her, and then she comes out and she's like 7'2", soulless husk that just hunts people down,
7'2",
linebacker, killing demons. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ultra Morons. I, as usual, am your host, Lane, and I'm joined by, again,
Jessica!
Yes, who joined me for the Gene Stealers episode. Before we get rolling into what we're going to talk about today, if you like this episode, like it. If you really like it, you should subscribe. Yay. Calls to action. Alright, so in this episode, we're going to talk about the Sisters of Silence, or the Silent Sisterhood, or the Anathema Psychana. I'm not calling them that, so just be aware.
Why? It's cooler.
It is, but I'm not. This is too much. Anathema Psychana. Shut up. Alright, so this is their symbol, the little eye with the face and the eye and the yeah. So basically what that symbol represents is...
They look mad at me.
They probably are.
It looked like I forgot to take the turkey out of the freezer.
Yes, because you did. And now we're gonna have turkey for Thanksgiving. The word it represents really is the Inquisition eye, and the eye is they're always watching, and the face with the little V is because of their visor they always wear.
Actually, you know what it does look like? It looks like, those images where it's two ladies or like it's a vase.
It's two cups kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it definitely...
Why does it have a number 1 in the background?
It's the eye for an Inquisition. They're part of the Inquisition.
But the eye? Oh, eye for... That's an eye?
Yes, it's the letter I. It's not a 1.
I feel like they're... In the Warhammer universe, do they speak English?
They speak High Gothic or Low Gothic.
What is that?
It's English, but it's also like... It's variants of it. It's what humans speak. So, Low Gothic and High Gothic. Like, Low Gothic is kind of like simple speech, and High Gothic is more like... Anathema Psychana would be the High Gothic version. That's like the more, let's say, scientific words you'd use. Now, Low Gothic can be any human language. So somebody would say like, oh, I saw there's a culture in Low Gothic they had a word for this in this of this region. Like they could be referring to like German, but they would still call it Low Gothic or High Gothic. So it's like that. It's just different. It's just the human language is Low Gothic or High Gothic.
So is it like common or...
It's kind of like common in D&D, but it's like...
I'm a little confused.
It's every human language is considered High Gothic or Low Gothic.
Okay, so it's just like Latin or romantic versus non-romantic languages, but there's 100 billion different languages still.
Kind of, but there's also isn't. Like, most people, I guess you would say, speak English. They speak the Queen's English. But, it's also like some people may refer to things like, oh, in a long time ago in Low Gothic they had a word for this in like Spanish. And they would just say the word, but they wouldn't say Spanish, they would say a Low Gothic variation.
Okay.
So every human language is Low Gothic or High Gothic. We're not doing an episode on language, which would be interesting.
I'm just interested because I haven't seen words incorporated in logos, which makes me wonder what...
No, everything you would ever see is usually some variation of kind of like a Latin type script usually, but it's not in Latin. It's written in English, but a Latin version. Like Astartes would just say Astartes in English letters, or not romantic letters, but whatever letters we use.
Latin letters?
I guess Latin. Yeah, I guess Latin. So it's like that. But it would say something like... But it's also depending, too, on different things. So, yes, I for Inquisition.
Okay.
They don't use Roman numerals, actually.
Is the eye on their forehead also for Inquisition?
It's for always watching.
Okay.
It's for being watchful. So, going back to the sisters, their whole thing is they're entirely all-female military order, all women, all the time, made entirely of blanks. And what blanks are humans that are born with something called the Pariah Gene, which basically means they don't have a soul. So every human has a soul. Psykers have like super souls. Blanks are people born without souls. And you say, well, how does that make sense? How can you be born without a soul?
Yeah, I guess.
It's weird.
Are they like all sociopaths or something?
Yes. Like they're very weird people. Most people don't like being around them because they make you really uncomfortable. It's like, I'm trying to think of like
human machines in some ways.
They're not machines because they can still feel things, they can still have emotions, but they're just there's just something off about them. It's like...
What does no soul mean in this context?
So everybody has a soul in not even just humans, but a lot of things have souls in 40k. And what that means is you have a presence in the warp, as well as you also have in the real space. Warp space and real space. You have two presences. Presenti. And when you die... You go into the warp, your soul goes in the warp, and whatever happens to it there, usually bad things, but, it goes in the warp.
Okay.
They don't have a soul. They don't have a presence in the warp at all. So they're almost like when they die, they're dead. That's it. There's no, like, it's over for them. Most things, when you die, your soul goes in the warp, you probably get sponged down by demons. It's not pleasant. But for them, it's over. Like, and they kind of create this psychic dead zone around them. Think of them like a walking EMP.
Bella from Twilight.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know Bella from Twilight. Wait, did you see a walking EMP? Doesn't she make them all juiced up, though, I thought?
No. So what she does is she, like vampire powers don't work on her.
Yes, it's kind of like that, then.
Yeah.
Like, they're walking just, like, negative zones. But even normal people, like, not even just vampires, but, like, let's say me and you were on a blank, we would just, like, you would feel some type of revulsion towards that person. Like, there's something so unnatural about them. You're just like, ugh.
So, why are they all girl bosses?
I don't know. Let me look here and see if there's any...
I mean, like, I just don't know why they wouldn't get male blanks, too. It sounds like being blanks is more important than anything.
It is.
Or, maybe in the Warhammer universe.
It does say the origins of the Sisters of Silence are shrouded in mystery.
Only women don't have souls.
Mm-hmm.
So is this all sisters that are blanks, or is it only...
Every single Sisters of Silence are blanks.
Okay.
So Battle Sisters are not blanks.
Are Battle Sisters...
They're different. They're different.
Part of the Sisters of Silence?
So think of Sisters of Silence more in the Custodes groups.
Are they different just sister groups? I thought the sisters may be an umbrella term for different sister groups.
No, so there are different... So there are different, like, ranks and roles in cadres and all these different things. But Sisters of Silence specifically are their own group. Mm-hmm. Sisters of Battle Sisters, are also their own group. They're both part of the Inquisition. But it's kind of like how Custodes and Space Marines are different. Like, Custodes are special super soldiers, so are Space Marines. But Space Marines are part of the Space Marine stuff, and Custodes are part of their own thing.
Are Space Marines part of the Inquisition?
No. Some are, but most of them aren't.
What is the Inquisition?
The Inquisition is a thing that came into kind of existence after the Emperor dies. Not dies, but after he gets put on the Golden Throne, and the Horus Heresy ends, and they're like, we need to hunt down all heretics, all people that were against the Empire. And they formed something called the Inquisition. What the Inquisition does, you have three arms of the Inquisition. Ordo Malleus, Ordo Hereticus, and Ordo Xenos, I think. And Ordo Malleus, I think, is the one that includes the Death Watch, which are special forces Space Marines. Mm-hmm. And their whole purpose is to go out and killing aliens. Okay. All they do is kill aliens and kill heretics. Okay. Because they're a blight on the world. Ordo Malleus, what did it say? Ordo Hereticus is more of like Inquisition, as in like a guy shows up with a big notepad and does an investigation on your planet because apparently you guys have been doing things you shouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. And he's going to go and he's going to do a whole investigation. He's going to figure out what you were doing. Sometimes Inquisitors get killed because people really don't like them. Because it's like a witch hunter, basically. Mm-hmm. They go into your village and they ask, who's been doing witchcraft? And everybody's like, none of us have really been doing witchcraft. And he goes, interesting, curious. And they work with, they can do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. They're not, and they don't work under, it's like, they think like the CIA in the 60s. They don't answer to anybody. Oh, no, they're supposed to answer to the government. They don't, They get away with anything. They exterminate planets sometimes, which means they wipe out entire populations of planets because there is rumored demonic activity on this planet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Ordo Xenos, I'm not sure about them. I think they just study aliens mostly and like the best ways to kill them. So, yeah. So Sisters of Silence are part of the Inquisition now because their whole thing is more of...
Wait, which order of the Inquisition are they a part of?
They're part of, let me see here, they're part of they might be part of their own group. Kind of like the Custodes. No, Custodes aren't part of the Inquisition though. I think they're just part of their own group. Okay. They're not part of any Ordo Malleus, Xenos, or Hereticus. They kind of operate their own thing. Because really their biggest thing is that they go get psykers from planets. Mm-hmm. With these things called black ships, where they, like a whole group of them, get together on a planet, and not on a planet, they're on these black ships, and they go investigate places where there could be rumored psykers or is psykers, and they go there and they go nab them up, and they put them on these black ships where there's a bunch of them. So that means since there's a bunch of them all in one spot, it turns off all the psyker energy, and it makes psykers really uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Because especially for psykers, because psykers are juiced up, crazy psychic people. So being around somebody that turns that off is so bad. It like makes you just so uncomfortable, and it makes you like it gives you like, it can give you all kinds of different side effects. It can outright kill some people, But sometimes people like it because some psykers have really bad. They hear voices. Think like extreme schizophrenia, but the schizophrenia is real. Like they're really hearing demons and stuff talk to them.
So it's like being cut off from your soul.
Yes. So here's like a version of that, kind of what would happen. So like that's like the purple guy on the right is like a psyker that has experienced all this warp energy, and the lady on the left has that bubble around her where she's like canceling it all. And when she gets close to that person, there's a whole video, we could watch it, but whatever. She gets close to them and she turns it off, and then they like calm down. She grabs them and brings them back to the ship. But it's not good. So the reason they bring the people on these ships is because they take them back to Terra and they put them in the Emperor's batteries to keep them going.
To keep him alive?
Yes. So
do they know what that's the reason that they're doing it?
Oh yeah.
But to keep the Emperor alive.
Yes, to juice the Golden Throne. Yes, okay. They put them. I don't know if they specifically put them in the machines, but they know that's what it's for. But they don't have no problem with it.
Well, it seems like they wouldn't have any problem with much of anything. In the Warhammer universe, it seems like nobody has a problem with much of anything.
There are some books and some things where people definitely be like, huh, but you gotta understand, sisters are already kind of weird. Like they're already kind of sociopaths. They don't have souls. Like they work like, and it's gonna sound bad, but like they have no real emotion. They feel emotion, but they don't really feel it the same. Because so to go back, Eldar. I think we talked about this in one of our episodes. Eldar feel emotions at super peaked out levels because all of them are really psychically bound. So all the greatest feelings you ever had, like let's say something so great like eating the best food ever. For them, it feels 10 times better. That cake was good to you. To them, is the best cake they've ever eaten. Now, for Sisters of Silence, for blanks, nothing feels good ever. Like they don't enjoy anything.
How do they recruit more blanks? I assume they're not forming families. Are they making like genetically?
It's exactly how you find them. Because it's usually they're like outcasts or whatever. They're like something weird about this person. They find them. They go, hey, we're taking you.
It seems really inefficient.
Well, there's no way to really know because you can't breed for this genetic. This is a weird genetic thing people have. It's a gene.
There should be some scientists on that one so we can make the perfect.
Oh, of course.
Soldiers,
They would love to figure that out, but it's it's just a random thing. It's kind of like psykers. You can't like make a psyker. They just show up when they show up. That's why the black ships go out and they go get them. So.
And they put them in the battery. And
they only answer. Yes, they put them in the battery that the Emperor sucks up. They only answer to the Emperor. Nobody else can tell them what to do. Sisters of Sons.
The Emperor's kind of been out of commission.
Exactly. So he said, go get my batteries, and that's it. And they're like, okay.
Well, they're like lemmings, Yeah,
they go, and they walk up the cliff, and you go, wait, turn around. And they have to restart the level. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so they're not stupid, though. They're very smart and very capable of doing very powerful things. I'm reading Master of Mankind right now, and you get this one woman, Janisha Kroll, who's really intelligent and just knows how to. They're not just random women that are soulless that just pick up people. All of them are almost on the same level as some custodians. They're very powerful and probably some of the best fighters. They could kill mostly a lot of Space Marines if they wanted to. They're not slouches.
Are they big?
They're not as tall as custodians, but they're probably maybe 7 feet or taller.
That's crazy. What?
Well, yeah, they get all juiced up because they're not just. It's funny. He takes these people and they do surgeries on them to make them into.
I thought they were just random. You're oh yeah, that's Darla. She's 8 feet tall, but we decided not to put her in the NBA.
No, they'll find a 5'2" lady that's just a blank, and they're all right, we're gonna do the surgeries on you, and they do the surgeries on her, and then she comes out and she's 7'2", soulless husk that just hunts people down.
7'2".
Linebacker killing demons. Yeah, so they go through some surgeries as well. Nobody comes out surgeryless in the 40K.
God, makes me want to think who would win in a football match. Would it be which division of the Warhammer universe?
Custodes.
You think so?
Oh, they're the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest, the smartest.
There's so many Space Marines.
I mean, if you're talking about if you got all of them together.
Why don't they have Blood Bowl for
40K?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was kind of a fantasy thing, and it was kind of where it ended.
It just seems like fun,
But also a lot of fantasy stuff is hitting each other, with axes and swords. 40K is a lot about shooting in tanks and battles, so it's it's not really translate.
You guys can still move around a football.
They could. I think there is some versions of Blood Bowl in the 40K world, but they most actually like playing 40K in the 40K world. They call it something else. I think it's called Regicide, maybe, or maybe that's just chess. But there's a version that they play. They have their own little minifigures and stuff. So it's more of that.
Back to that.
Anyways, the sisters, they only answer the Emperor and the Lord Commander, which at this time is Guilliman. Mm-hmm. So they don't listen to Primarchs, which Guilliman's Primarch, but you know what I mean. They don't listen to any of the Primarch. They don't listen to Space Marines. Mm-hmm. They don't listen to Imperial Guardsmen. They don't listen to any Inquisition. They don't have to listen to either. They only listen to the Emperor. And the Emperor says, "Go get these people and turn them into batteries." Well, they're going to do it.
So is that all they're doing?
Right now, yes, but we're going to go into the original starting things before we get into all that fun stuff now. So originally, it's kind of unclear where they came from. Supposedly, they appeared during the early Great Crusade, which was when the Emperor, came out of the Unification Wars. He brought all Earth under his control, and he's like, now we need to go conquer the stars and get my Primarch sons back. So that's kind of when they started showing up. Sometimes before, they linked their formation to something called the Cataclysm of Pentakianus, which was a psychic event that demonstrated how unstable Imperial psyker handling was at the time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the psykers are kind of like psychic bombs sometimes. Mm-hmm. And if you had a lot of those bombs going off at once, it caused some real problems. So the Emperor's like, I need a solution to this because this is going to cause some real problems for me in the future. Boom, bang, boom, Sisters of Silence come up. He said, oh, what a coincidence. So, but there also is some reference of sisters existing even like during the Dark Age of technology, but it's kind of all speculation. So they had their main base was on Luna, which is the moon, and it was protected by a bunch of cults and different things like that. And it was super militarized and technologically advanced, and even during the early Imperium. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, if you're going to go to the stars, where are you going to first stop? At the moon. So they built it up there, and it became kind of the Emperor's left hand in a way of like not secret stuff. Because the Inquisition doesn't exist yet. So forget about the Inquisition. They exist after the Emperor gets put in the chair. Okay. So this is his Inquisition, basically, is the sisters. So he uses them as kind of figure out, like, they use them as his spy masters, right? As what's his name's pigeons or bird, what do you call them in Game of Thrones?
The ravens?
No, the little kids that he has running around like getting information.
Oh, his little birds?
Yeah, but he has like a name for it. But anyways, it's like that. Obviously, but they're 7 foot tall, hulking women that don't talk. So they're a little harder to, hide, but they're very good at getting information.
Well, they're probably very good at torturing people.
Oh, they love torturing.
Just a thought. I don't know.
I mean, you get information as you get information. I mean, they also torture people by being around them. Like, they just stand next to you, and you hate it so much that you tell them anything to make them go away. Or they'll probably just kill you. Anyways, so one of the biggest things they did was during the Horus Heresy, the Burning of Prospero. So and I have a picture of that here. So as you see Leman Russ going to Prospero to go get Magnus, and in the background here you see these two Sisters of Silence.
Their hair is like...
Yeah, they wear top knots.
It's very military.
Well, yeah.
Like plumes. They look like
oh yeah, like little Roman plumes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they all kind of have that look. Like you see here, she has that thing going on. Janisha Kroll has that thing going on. A small picture. The orderly ones had red, as well.
I like Janisha Cole having this faux beard. It's very pharaoh. Oh no, is that?
It's like a mask.
Oh, it's just like maybe the end of her.
Yeah, it's like a little rebreather thing. I can't really zoom in on it.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. I thought she was because there was this lady pharaoh who would wear, like a fake beard because it's like part of the office.
Right. No, they just wear these masks. I guess she could take hers down sometimes, which usually they can't actually. Usually they're surgically attached to their face.
Why? What did these masks do?
It's just kind of it's symbolism that they can't talk.
Oh, they can't talk?
No, they don't talk at all. That's what Sisters of Silence.
Why?
Because it's a what's it called? They take on like a vow. A vow of silence, and they talk through sign language. Okay.
It's like the Silent Sisters in Game of Thrones. Except for the Silent Sisters in Game of Thrones, they take they take dead bodies to go be interred.
Wow, how similar. So yes, the Sisters of Silence, they don't talk, they use sign language, and the masks are surgically put on their face. But when they're kids, because usually they take them as children, these blanks, the children can talk because they don't take the vow yet. Usually when they get older and they kind of understand the methods, then they take the vow and they put the mask on. Janisha Kroll, she didn't talk, but I don't think her mask, I guess, wasn't surgically put on. So, anyways, we're in Prospero. It was when Magnus did the whole thing by crashing the webway. It was a whole thing. So he sent the sisters there because all of Thousand Sons, which are Magnus's legion, are, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are psychic, psyker sorcerers. So who are you going to send to stop psyker sorcerers? You're going to send the Sisters of Silence.
But I thought that when Magnus crashed the webway, he was doing it for the Emperor. Why would...
So when Magnus crashed the webway, he was trying to tell the Emperor, that Horus betrayed him. But the Webway project was the Emperor trying to make a pathway that humans could traverse. Because the Webway, think of it like spider tunnels in like World War II or like Vietnam.
I'm just asking if Magnus was against...
No, he was on the Emperor's side, but he kept doing things the Emperor didn't like. He kept because the Emperor told him you cannot use magic because the Emperor didn't tell his primarchs about the chaos, but they kept dipping into these things.
To have like, let me just remove Magnus from power. I don't know.
He did. He had a council of Nicaea, it was called, where he said, Magnus, you can no longer have sorcerers or psykers. You guys can no longer use magic. I forbid magic use because it only causes problems.
So what? So
then Magnus is like, okay, I understand that, but I need to go talk to the Emperor magically by going through the webway. And he crashes the webway. And the Emperor's like, I just told you. So now I need to go bring you here and put you in prison. That's what he was going to do. He's just going to put him in prison. Mm-hmm. But Horus intercepted the message and somehow got to Leman Russ and told him, actually, you need to kill Magnus. You have to kill him. This is the only way. So Leman Russ goes there to go kill him with the Sisters of Silence because they can turn off all the Thousand Sons' psychic powers.
Wait, but like, why does Leman Russ believe Horus?
I don't know if he got the message from Horus himself, but also things get weird during the Horus Heresy. So some people don't even know what Horus is doing. They just know, he's betrayed the Emperor, but they don't understand why. And at that point in the Horus Heresy, people don't even know that he's like... I think at that point he didn't know that...
How does communication work in the Warhammer universe?
Well, it works usually normally, but the problem is things are so far away that messages can take a long time to get there. So sometimes you have to send messages, honestly, by hand. Like, not by hand, but like...
Pass them through ships?
Exactly, like kind of a relay system.
Like at the end of Rogue One?
Kind of, yes. And also there's a lot of warp storms. And warp storms make messages and things get real tricky. Mm-hmm. So I can go give my letter to the mailman, but he's got to drive through a warp system. Mm-hmm. He got to you a year later.
Okay.
So you missed that message.
All right.
But the message that did get to you was the one that says, kill Magnus. The Emperor said kill Magnus.
So it sounds... It's one of those classic miscommunication...
Leman Russ was tricked.
Plots.
Yes, Leman Russ was tricked. Leman Russ is... I don't want to say he's an idiot, but he listens. He's very loyal. So if the Emperor says so, I'm not going to question it. Emperor says kill Magnus, I'm going to kill Magnus. But also Horus was War Master. So he was a step below the Emperor. Like So even, let's say Leman Russ didn't know that, like, how evil Horus was being at the time. Even if Horus says it, I got a message from the Emperor says you need to kill Magnus. He goes, Horus, you're in charge too, so I guess I should listen to you, So he does it. Takes his sisters there. Whole thing happened. He ends up killing Magnus. Magnus breaks apart, going in the warp. It's a whole other thing that we covered in one of the other episodes.
So, did they, burn him to death with their anti-psychic rays?
No, well, Leman Russ fought him one-on-one, and Magnus was like, no, I don't want to kill you. And Leman Russ was like, I don't want to kill you either, but I have to. And then Magnus, they're fighting, and boom, boom, bang, bang, boom. And then, Leman Russ kills him.
Feels like establishing, a good mail system would be really important for the Emperor.
Well, you try to, but warp storms make things really tricky.
Yeah.
Imagine you're delivering mail, but different parts of the highway have giant potholes in them. You're just like, well, that wasn't there yesterday, so now things are going to get a little tricky.
Well, what's the point of having an empire unless you have a mail system?
Well, that's what he's trying to set up through the Webway project. Was I need to create a perfect system. I need to create this underground tunnel system, not underground, but the secondary tunnel system, like a hyperloop, but actually good, where we can go through. We can do interstellar travel with any threat of the warp. Mm-hmm. And that's the next part we're going to cover here, is that when Magnus does his big thing in the Webway, the Sisters of Silence took it upon themselves to go in there because a lot of demons were kind of pouring in through these different holes in the... So not even is there holes in the highway, there's demons coming out of the holes in the highway.
Are they really good against demons because they're anti-warp?
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of demons get around them, and the demons start, and then they just strike them down. But some demons are very powerful, and they don't feel it as much. Especially some really even Magnus, he felt it when they were around, but he was still pretty good.
How did Magnus get so red?
A
little tomato somewhere in the sun.
I think it's just
none of the other.
I think it's a mutation he got.
None of the other ones.
Angrons are kind of red, but it's because he kind of becomes a demon. But
it's because he's angry.
Well, he's kind of olive colored until he becomes a demon and turns red. He's red. I think it's warp side effects. Honestly, make him red. Magnus the Red's I think it's just like he just was messing around with sorcery too much. It turned him red. I don't know.
Man.
It's kind of like how Beast in X-Men comes blue. He just accidentally turns himself into the Beast Man.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, he's like, whoops. Like I said, can't it go back? So they also help in the Webway too. Master of Mankind book covers a lot of that stuff. I'm like helping, especially Janisha Kroll. She's in there. She's doing a lot with the Custodes. It's a cool book. I'm not doing.
It's
like,
just because he ate too many tomatoes.
It's actually what it was. He ate too many tomatoes. It turned him red. And they were going to call him Magnus the Tomato, but they said you can't. That's too much. That's too rude. So, you know. And nothing that happened was the Siege of Terra. Obviously, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. At the end of the Horus Heresy, they're there. They're trying to help, of course. But Janisha Kroll was very cool. She is the sister commander, which means she is the top dog of the Sisters of Silence. Is there fighting all these different people, and she runs into Karn the Betrayer, who's a world eater, regular space marine. He's not regular though because he's very juiced up, very strong, very powerful, has chaos on his sides, and he kills her very easily. And people do not like that. It's very dumb. He kills her so easily he forgets that he did it.
And the Siege of Terra is
the end of the Horus Heresy.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and yeah, Karn kills her, and yeah, it's just like
is Karn just like a guy?
He's a space marine, but he's very juiced up. He's probably one of the strongest space marines in the lore.
Well, it does feel like lame. You're like, oh, just a space marine took out the head of what's supposed to be an equivalent order.
Yes, not even of the space marines, of the Custodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like okay. Whatever.
Like you're saying, oh, the girls they get a bone, but then we just get a kill
big tough guy.
We just get killer by a jobber.
To be fair, well, Karn isn't a jobber. He is like one of the strongest space marines. He's like I say he's probably a step below Abaddon. Like so, he's not just like a slouch. But it is kind of dumb that she gets killed not off screen, but almost off screen. Like. She runs. There's not like a cool epic fight.
Yeah, it was for him. It was a Tuesday.
Yes, and it's just like what, whatever. So it's kind of dumb. But at the end of the Siege of Terra, all the sisters kind of scattered around because a lot of them get killed in this. So they kind of get broken apart. So after the heresy, the Emperor gets put on the Golden Throne, and the Sisterhood doesn't know what to do next because that's their guy. He tells them everything to do, and he can no longer talk to them because he's kind of stuck in the throne. Do
they know that he's stuck on the throne? Like
yes.
Basically dying.
Yes.
Okay.
They know everything. The sisters
everything?
and the Custodes know everything.
Oh, I didn't know.
Because it is their job to know everything. They are, like, because Malcador's dead too, by this point.
Do the Battle Sisters know everything?
No.
Why is this?
Battle Sisters are equivalent to Space Marines.
Okay.
There's nothing like that. Custodes are super Space Marines, and Sisters of Silence are super Battle Sisters.
Okay.
Battle Sisters, the only reason Battle Sisters exist, actually, Battle Sisters don't even exist at this point. They exist a couple thousand years after the heresy.
Oh, okay.
Because they're a part of the Inquisition, and their whole thing is worshiping the Emperor. At this point in the lore, nobody worships the Emperor because that is a crime. But, you know, as time goes on, people start to worship the Emperor.
I think some people might.
People do, of course. Like, even during the heresy, some people worship the Emperor. Like, I can't remember her name, but there's a woman that actually gets power from it. And the Emperor's like, most people kind of ignore it because, whatever. Yeah. We have other things to worry about right now. But the Sisters of Silence do not worship the Emperor. They just see him as, like, the most capable leader ever. Mm-hmm. Like, they see him as a super king, you know? Mm-hmm.
God King.
Yes.
Well, but not God.
But not God. Like Emperor, right?
Yeah.
Like Caesar, right? Like they see him as the guy who's going to make it all happen.
Well, a lot of kings and ultimate authorities did derive their power through divine authority.
Right. They believe he had the mandate of heaven, right?
Yeah.
But not religiously. Just like but also like how could you not, right? Emperor is the emperor. Mm-hmm. Like he's the most powerful being in existence at the time. Obviously not, because then he gets beat up a little bit. But anyways, yes. So he gets put on the throne. The Sisters of Silence go, what do we do now? Like this was not supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to go down like that. So they continue operating the black ships. Like we talked about earlier, they still do that whole side thing where we need to get the batteries here to keep the Emperor alive. And all of the sister enclaves kind of fell into ruin. Even their main one, the Somnus Citadel on Luna, even that one kind of starts breaking apart. So a lot of them kind of work independently. They kind of become these hidden figures that continue their work without any official support. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of working off CIA agents. They're kind of working off the book.
Like Hidden Figures, the movie.
Like Hidden Figures with the space people. Yes.
The black women.
Yes. I don't know. Some Sisters of Silence may be black. I'm not sure. Usually see them
why not?
I mean, they could be. I just never seen
There's nothing that would stop them from being black.
No, there isn't.
Artists being.
Hey, Janisha Kroll.
White centric.
Janisha Kroll's white, but they could be anything. They could be olive. They could be Mediterranean.
They could be white or a little bit less white. Those two things.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's artists. I think I've seen a black sister before, but it doesn't matter. So they keep getting these doing this kind of working off the books here, Black Ops type things, right? Some of them also hide their blank aura. They can some of them kind of pull it in a little bit, rein it in, and they kind of go back to being normal-ish. And honestly, some of them start families.
Really?
Yes.
So they gain their soul back?
No, they're still weird, but like
I was wondering how their blank order gets pulled back in.
Well, they can just kind of pull it in. They're still weird though.
Okay.
Like you would still feel weird around them, but it's not like so heavy that you're like, I need to kill this person now type weirdness. Mm-hmm. So they kind of start families, some of them, and they kind of
I feel like they should take over like planets.
Well, they were so distraught that the emperor
they broke
died.
Down.
Yeah, like it's just
they're just like already in a position of authority. They could like
they are and they're not, because at this point after the heresy, people are kind of weird about everything. Like, oh, did we lose or what's going on here? And so a lot of people kind of like disenfranchised. Like some of the sisters were, and they're like, I don't. You know what? I'm going to step away from this. It's like nuns becoming atheists, which is like seems really crazy, but it's possible.
Oh wait, you said that they couldn't breed for it. Sounds like they can if they're having pariah blood.
Well, yeah, but you have to have children.
Yeah, I know.
But if they're too busy having, let's see what I read my notes. If they're too busy having, like fighting, like doing CIA work, then there's not enough time to have children.
I know, but you could have a certain amount of, you'd have, they could just have like pop out a couple of babies. They don't even need to have families. Yeah,
but like, you're not going
to.
Or
you could take their genes out. Or you could harvest their eggs. If you're going to do all these surgeries, you could harvest their eggs.
And the emperor may have had that in mind.
And
but
then
it's
you
like,
could do IVF.
But you got to think also it's a control thing. If we can keep the population to a certain amount, then I'm going to keep that at a certain amount. Like Custodes, there's only 10,000 of them. Yeah. Sure, could he have more? Sure, but he doesn't want to. He wants 10,000.
I guess, but it's a big universe.
Exactly. But it's control. It's all about control.
10,000 is so small.
It is.
A big universe.
10,000 is nothing.
I feel like we should harvest those eggs.
Well, there's 10,000 Custodes. Sisters and sons, I'm not sure how many there are. So, but also, the Pariah blood, I don't know how, some lore changes. That could be old lore too. So I put it in my notes, but, I don't know how much that actually took off. So later on, about M32, which is about 2,000 years after, it's about 2,000 years after Horus Heresy, I think. Yes. Only about 50 sisters were on this one world. And this thing called the War of the Beasts happens, which is this massive orc invasion. A bunch of orcs show up, they start causing real problems, and orcs are kind of weird for sisters because they're not psychic. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of them are, but not really, in the same way actual psychers are. The sisters helped out, even though they didn't really want to, they did.
Yeah, aren't they busy putting people into batteries?
That, but also, they also are kind of disenchanted with the Imperium right now. Because, especially a lot of Custodes were too, because they felt like it's the Primarch's fault and the Space Marines' fault that everything got sour. Mm-hmm. Custodians and Sister Sons do not like Space Marines and Primarchs because they find like they're so fallible, so easily fall to chaos. Sisters of Silence and Custodians never fall to chaos. Not a single one ever has.
Yeah, why even make these guys in power if they're just causing all these big problems?
And they've asked the Emperor that. They said, why would you make these guys so fallible? And the Emperor says, well, because I wanted to see if it would happen. And it did, and I can handle it. Couldn't handle it.
I feel like it's because he's a little narcissistic. And
Absolutely. And he says that. He says, I can handle it. Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I think he's a little narcissistic because he wanted to see, little hymns walking around.
Well, no, yes and no, because a lot of the Primarchs really aren't. They're his genes, but they're not clones of him. I know. That was kind of the whole point, was that he wanted to create something that had free will in a way. Custodians do have free will, but they are so loyal to the Emperor, it's part of their DNA.
Yeah.
So same with the sisters. So the fact that these people, are doing...
I think he wanted peers in some ways, but, a little bit less peers.
Yes, he wanted humans, kind of.
Yeah.
He wanted superhumans. Because Custodes are also superhumans, but they're brainwashed superhumans. I mean, so are Space Marines and so are... Well, Space Marines are, but Primarchs weren't. Primarchs were loyal to the Emperor, of course, because that's their dad, of course. But as you see, half of them were no. Even a lot of them, when he picked them up during the Great Crusade, were I don't know about you, man. So it's he wanted kind of somebody that, not equals, but somebody he could have a conversation with, real sons. Because the Custodes really aren't his sons. The Custodes aren't made from his genes. There's regular humans he plucks up and is like, make them super, juice them up, do all this. But the Primarchs were like his sons, so he kind of... But us at the same time, in Master of Mankind, so I shouldn't say he's his sons, because he never referred to them as his sons. He said they're just tools for domination.
Yeah, okay.
But he wanted the tools to have free will, because he thought they could do... He wanted to see how they would do things differently. Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, and if they go to Chaos, and I'll handle it.
Then why do all the Primarchs call each other brother?
Because they are brothers with each other.
Yeah, but like, do they... Who instituted that they should realize, like, acknowledge each other as their brothers?
Each other. But also the Emperor probably told him too, like, you guys are brothers, but I'm not your father. Like, I'm your gene father, but don't not call me father. Like,
don't expect...
I will not call you my sons
child
because...
support payments. It's not
exactly.
going to happen.
He's like, you are my sons in a way of you came from my genes, but you're also my tools. Like, if I made a hammer by cutting down a tree and forging the wood and doing all this stuff, you were the same to me.
It feels like a lot of the problems that the humans experience are, like, stem from, like, the Emperor's personality.
He is... Well, he's not... It's just weird because he loves humanity so much, the Emperor, and he wants them to succeed, but yet he's not a human at all, really. He doesn't have any humanity in him. But he believes in manifest destiny. He believes that humanity should take over the universe. And then everything would be perfect if we took over the universe, chaos didn't exist. Which is not wrong. If chaos didn't exist, things would be great. But the way he goes about it is so wrong.
How would the universe exist without chaos?
Because you took the Chaos God's power away, things would still get a little weird, but he could handle it better.
You could have it without chaos, I guess, if you just had all blanks.
No, because you could still have the... So, like, we're going way back in the lore. The warp has always existed, but sometimes it was more like a steady pond. Mm-hmm. It was just like, there was not much going on. It was very stable. But now, after all this time, all this war, bloodshed, plagues, whatever, it has become a turbulent chaos force storm. It's gone so out of hand. So the Emperor's thought was, well, if I can almost kind of keep humans in the webway, honestly, for a time, chaos has no power there, and we can handle things in there, and then chaos gods will lose all their power, become nothing more than like an inconvenience. Mm-hmm. And then we'll come back out, and then we'll kind of take over the universe. But Magnus really ruined that. But so you could still have humans normally. It's just, right now, things are so turbulent that he's like, we need to get unturbulent. Mm-hmm. Like, so
that's why I'm saying extract the eggs from the system. Have 5 billion million blanks.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hold on, let me make sure 100% sure that they could even have children, because that might be.
And don't tell me, like, you want to do eugenics? It's the entire thing is eugenics. Why wouldn't you do better eugenics? The Emperor should listen to me. Is what I'm saying. I have some good ideas.
I think the problem was too, actually, okay, so reading here, my notes, I kind of didn't go into detail with it. So during that time, you're talking about, okay, they make more of them because they could have kids. He probably was going to some degree, but also they're just too busy. But the thought was too, a lot of these people, when they had those families, being around blank, some rare cases, some of these sisters could control that power, some of them can't, and a lot of them were hunted down and killed because they were just so, a bunch of witch hunts on them, especially by Imperium people, Imperial cult people. Because they think they were witches, they were blaming them for Horus Heresy.
And that's why you have, like, you extract the eggs, you have a certain number of women who are going to carry the fertilized eggs, and then you just have them in some kind of military facility where they have the children they're raised from birth. It's simple.
But it might not even pass down like that, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it might...
Well, then you kill the children that don't get it.
Sure. I don't know. But also, I don't know, maybe the Emperor didn't want to do that.
I guess. He does that with everything else.
Not really, because, like, some things don't work out. But also, his whole primary focus after making Horus War Master was the webway. So he wasn't thinking about, like, how can I mass produce Sisters of Silence? It was more like, how can I make chaos go away, So...
I'm just suggesting another way to make chaos go away.
Yeah, but also you gotta think some demons aren't totally affected by blanks.
Yeah, but, like...
So the strong demons, like, especially...
If there's, like, 5 billion demons and you get rid of 1 billion of them...
Trillions of demons.
Okay, if you get rid of, like, 50% of them, that's a lot better.
Yeah, but you would have to then have the manpower to do that. And not get killed by the demons.
Yeah, I'm getting the manpower.
Well, then you also... I'm not saying that the resources, the manpower... Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He didn't do it. All right? He didn't do it. Maybe you should have talked to him and say, I have a question.
Question, Mr. Emperor.
I have a question, teacher.
Why are we not mass producing these
Why
blanks?
don't you just take their genes and make more of them? And then you look at them for a second, your face melts.
It seems like a really good idea.
I don't... Look, there's probably some weird novel where it says, I tried to do that, sisters, but it didn't work because I can't figure it out.
That's just because they didn't want to write it.
Well, yes, of course. But look, it's like the same thing with Angron. Why don't you take the butcher's nails? Because if he did, Angron would be brain dead. And he's like, well, I need him to not be brain dead.
I feel like they could have worked it out.
Yeah, okay, look, if the writer said, I could take out the nails, but I like him when he's a savage murderer. Sure, they could have wrote that, but they wrote, no, if I take him, he's going to be brain dead. And I have no use for a brain dead tool.
Well, you might have a use for him not to be killing everyone all the time.
Well, no, that's just pretty useful during that time. Angron, go Angron, destroy my enemies, and he would do it. But then all of a sudden now he goes to chaos. And he's like, what happened? That's so weird.
That's so weird. This guy was angry about everything.
And hated me. He became chaos.
And hated everything.
Weird.
And he only lived for killing.
He only found pleasure in violence. Huh.
Which is like directly aligned with chaos. I don't know.
Like he specifically says in Master of Mankind, he talks about this thing where he's like, because he has an Arcan Land in the room with, I think it's Arcan Land, or maybe it's one of the tech priests, not tech priests, but like, I think it's tech priests. And he's talking about it, he's like, not only the butcher's nails don't just like make it good to kill. If he doesn't kill, he's in immense pain constantly. And he's like, well, that sounds bad. He's like, yeah, but man, is he good at killing. And it's just like, and the tech priest is like,
and this won't turn out poorly at all.
Clueless. But yeah, because even the tech priest is like, that seems a little, okay, if you say so. But also the tech priest is also so like nervous to be around because he's the Omnissiah. So he's like, if you say so. Oh my, I can't believe I'm around the Omnissiah. This is so crazy. Nobody's gonna believe me on Mars. So yeah. Anyways, War of the Beast. So War of the Beast, it works out. The books aren't very good.
Hey, you don't know.
I do know because Adeptus Ridiculous, shout out to them. They covered all the books with Kirioth, and man, based on their review of the books, it was just orc kill, orc don't kill, the orc fight, and then these guys show up, and then they do this, and then characters not acting like they should be.
Orcs don't seem like very...
Orcs are very easy to write. They just love fighting. They go,
I know, I'm just saying.
You ready for a good crumpin'? And then that's it.
They're not very deep characters.
They can be. Because actually the Beast is kind of interesting, but it's so dumb. There's this part in the books where they find this big room, and around it is like 18 big thrones for the orcs. And they call them the Prime Orcs.
That's awesome!
And
Are you trying to tell me this is bad?
And the orcs copied the Primarchs, and the Beast wasn't one orc, it was a bunch of orcs that all got together. It's like, what? And then the orcs, actually, then the War of the Beast, the Imperial Fists get wiped out. It's actually the end of the Imperial Fist in that book. They have to remake them from a Black Templar guy. I think it's Sigismund or Sigmund or one of them. It's not. It's also like it's just so much of characters not acting like they should. Like there's this part where the Iron Hands work with the Iron Legion. Is that their name? Iron Legion. And it's like that would never happen. They hate each other.
Yeah. One iron guy can't like another iron guy.
Well, Perturabo and Ferrus Manus always got in fights.
Yeah, but maybe they've gotten over it. They both like working with their hands. Yeah,
but that's the problem is that one of them was the favorite child and one of them wasn't. So it's like they would never work together. It's like Iron Hands working with Emperor's children. That would never happen. Fulgrim killed their Primarch. They want to destroy every Emperor's children they see.
That's true. They would not get along.
Yeah, so it's like some of that's like, no,
Iron
I hate you.
Hands do have a problem with the Emperor's children.
Yeah, Iron Hands have a problem with also the other, or maybe it was Imperial Fists working together with Iron Legion, because it was Rogel Dorn and Perturabo got into fights all the time because they were both fortification guys. Where Rogel Dorn got to build the cool stuff, like he got to fortify the Golden Palace, and Perturabo got to build the sewer system on some planet.
Dude, that's really important, all right?
That's what the Emperor told him. But it's so important, dude. You gotta understand, infrastructure is so key to this. Make this work, okay, buddy? Okay, go on now. Me and Rogel gotta go talk about some stuff, okay? All right, see you later, buddy. And Perturabo's like, I hate you. I want to build cool stuff too. Like, he gave Rogel Dorn all the Legos he wanted and gave Perturabo Mega Blocks.
Yeah, that...
It's stupid. You could buy us both. Do you have enough money? So, War of the Beast happens. War of the Beast happens. It's whatever. It's the whole thing. And the Sisters of Silence still exist, barely, by M41, which is the modern time. They barely exist. Only a handful of underfunded chambers that really just only run the black ships.
Underfunded. I never.
The government has not been giving them the money.
I never think about funds when it comes to Warhammer. Like, yeah, how are they raising this money?
Things cost money. Things cost resources. Things
I
cost
don't really know how, like, the because it's entirely, I guess, because you have one government, so the government can just tell people. I don't even know what kind of...
Well, think of it underfunded as in not just like money, but think of it as in like resources.
What kind of like system do they even have? I assume...
There's money.
No, I know, but it's not like they have capitalism, I assume. I assume there's some sort of like...
Well, they do. Think of like Star Wars.
Mercantilism or something.
It's like Star Wars. Like some planets have credits, you know? And
no,
then you have
I know,
portions.
but like, I'd assume that like, the way that businesses are created isn't like...
Well, you gotta think how big the universe is. There are some planets that are just kind of like Earth, where it's
Yeah, I
like, oh, it's
know.
just like a society where they just run businesses.
Yeah, I just assume
There's a lot
that...
of corruption, but...
I just assume mostly everything's run by the Imperium.
Yes and no, because the Imperium is everywhere, but it's also not everywhere. It's not the Imperium everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars and the Empire.
Do you think is there a democracy planet? Like, we believe in
Sure.
democracy.
To a degree. I'm sure they have, like, but a lot of them have planetary governors. So you could elect a governor, but every planet kind of has a planetary governor who, like, runs the planet. Usually, but that's where the corruption comes in. Usually it's a long family line of nobles. It's kind of like when we played Rogue Trader. Like, Rogue Traders come from a long line of nobles that, like, a peasant would never become a road trader. If you come from a death road, you're not going to be a road trader. Which, I don't care. If we're playing road trader, you can be whatever you want. All right? But, like, because it's just... It's almost... what are they? Caste system. It's like a caste system on a lot of planets. You know, you have your untouchables, you have your, you know, your higher-ups, you have your... Not kings, but you have, like, your noble class. A lot of planets are like that.
So it sounds like there's a lot of nobility, so...
There's a lot of nobility, but there's also a lot of just, like, you know, you have hive worlds, which are just, like...
interesting. I'm surprised that they have nobility in a, like, system where it's, like, so...
Well, if you can source your family tree back to, like, people who, let's say, helped thousands of years ago during the Great Crusade, your family was probably rewarded. Like, if you were a knight house and you used your robot knights to help the emperor take over the
there was knights. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why did I get into the whole thing about that?
I was talking about nobility.
Yeah, so nobility. But why are you getting nobility?
I was thinking about...
Oh, capitalism in 40K. Man, that was a whole tangent. I'm going to have to cut all that out. You know, we're talking about Sister Sansa, we're talking about the nobility of 40K. So, anyways.
Well, to create the universe, you must...
First make apple pie or something. Oh, yeah, because you're talking about the underfunded chambers of Sisters of Silence. Yes, that was a whole tangent.
How do they get underfunded? How do they raise funds? What is their system of commerce?
Like I said, the Imperium a lot of them were kind of getting hunted down because a lot of people were so mad that the Imperium, quote unquote, lost that they were like, need to blame somebody. So they blame the sisters because they're already freaks as it is. And they're like, well, it's your fault that you should have protected the Emperor, right? And they're like, we tried our best. And it's like, well, you didn't try hard enough, right? So they killing them, blah, blah, blah. So they kind of lost funding. They lost resources. People didn't want to help them, but they kept doing their black ship stuff because, you know, that's their lemming thing. They got to do that. That's their prime directive.
Yeah, they've already been. They can't stop the programming.
Exactly. So there's one sister called Adeptus Hestia. She was kind of trying to preserve the sisters, and she was doing a pretty decent job of it. But during the Era Indomitus, which is kind of the end of M41, leading into the current lore, I'll say, all the sisters kind of return to Luna, which is, you know, their base. Unless they planet, because it's the moon, not a planet. But they all return to their base. And they were summoned by the High Lords of Terra. And so Terra right now is run... there is a government on Terra. Obviously, the Emperor's the Emperor. But there's a lot of High Lords on Terra. And they all kind of represent different, like, things. I think there's a High Lord of the Economy, High Lord of Psykers, High Lord of, like... navigators, all just the different things, whatever. They get summoned by the High Lords, but also Trajan Valorous is there. And Trajan Valorous, at this point, is I can't remember the name for it, but the commander of the Custodes. Like, he is the top guy. He's your guy. He's in control of the Custodes. And he summoned them there. He says, I need you guys' help to fight Magnus because he's returned. Somehow Magnus returned.
Wait, how did Magnus return?
So, in the book, I think it's Thousand Sons, Ahriman, which is one of Magnus' guys, one of the Thousand Sons, he gets like a message from Magnus in the warp saying, I'm defeated, but if you bring all my pieces back together, I can reform.
Oh, wow, what a video game.
Yeah, and Ahriman's like, you got it, boss. So he goes around the universe, gets all these pieces, and brings Magnus back together. That's a really short version of it. And yeah, so Magnus comes back on the planet of sorcerers, and then he kind of waits around for a while. He wasn't there during, actually, the Siege of Terra. And later on, he tries to fight, he's like, now that the Emperor's weakened, I can, like, get back at him. So Trajan Valorous knew about this, and he says, sisters, come together and help me defeat Magnus.
Yeah, 5 billion million sisters.
Yeah, all 10 sisters come together, because there's not many of you left. And they push her back to Thousand Sons.
Cheerleader, like, triangle.
They do the pyramid, they move forward. So, and then Guilliman comes back. Guilliman gets revived after dying to Fulgrim. Well, not dying, because actually Fulgrim didn't want to kill him. He just wanted to stop him, and he did. Which is so funny, because Fulgrim was fighting Guilliman, and Guilliman had the Emperor's Sword, which the Emperor's Sword is anathema, which is basically a weapon that can kill a demon for good. Because if you kill a demon, usually just go back to the warp and they respawn. Mm-hmm. You cannot truly kill a demon. There's only some small ways. One of the ways is the Emperor's Sword, which is funny because the Guilliman has it, which when he's fighting Fulgrim. So if he kills Fulgrim with it, Fulgrim would be dead for good.
Which would be good.
Which would be good, but he failed, and Fulgrim cut his neck with his Chaos Poison Blade, and Guilliman goes, "Oh, I've been defeated." And
yeah, that's the name of Guilliman. What the heck?
Yeah,
he can't even 1v1 Fulgrim?
Well, Fulgrim was an empowered demon, right?
Yeah,
and
but
Guilliman's just like a kind of a regular guy.
No, he's not. He's a huge guy.
Yes, but like he's a Primarch, but he's not like juiced up like Fulgrim is.
Is he a regular guy Primarch?
Well, yeah, everybody knows Guilliman's things is taxes.
Yeah, but Fulgrim...
Fulgrim's one of the best sword fighters
like,
ever.
Tasting wine and, like, watching an opera.
Yeah, but he's kind of like Alucard. Like, yeah, he looks like a little twink with his little white hair, and he goes, I love drinking wine. But he's like also one of the best sword fighters ever. So it's like, you know, it's... So it was a struggle. Guilliman did hurt him, though, but it wasn't good enough. Guilliman he comes back and he says, we need to reform the Empire. This rotting husk of an empire is no good.
Yeah, we're underfunding the sisters.
The sisters are getting underfunded? Are you kidding me? My beautiful, wonderful sisters. My beautiful, wonderful sisters. Getting underfunded. So he reorganizes the sisterhood. He says, I'm going to recall all of you. Come back to the Somnus Citadel in Luna.
Yeah, and he says, I'm going to harvest your eggs. We're going to do the thing.
And however he does it, he rebuilds their numbers. And deploys them across the crusade. He says, go, my sisters.
Guilliman listened to what I had to say.
You're right. He actually already thought of that. You know, he put in an Excel spreadsheet and saw the numbers. So about 3,000 sisters get on Terra, which is not a lot.
Okay.
And
that's not, see, like, how many generations?
That's what I'm saying, but only 3,000?
Yeah, I know.
Versus the 10,000 custodians?
It's not very good.
It's not good. They were in a bad state. So, and they formed the Vigil Indomitus, which is basically a force of around 1,000 warriors acting as kind of their own semi-autonomous group. So you have these three different forces that expands across all the different areas, operating in their crusade fleets and ground theaters.
So what, like...
And they're good because they can kind of cancel warp storms because some of them have really good fields. So yeah, the warp storms is, as we said, those large-scale tears that kind of chaos seeps through. So if they get anyone, they kind of close it in. If it's small enough.
A bunch of Cthulhu things just start happening.
They go, and then the sisters go, stop that. Hey, stop that. And they go, okay. And then it seals up. Now, once they leave, it'll probably open back up again. But
that doesn't fix it?
No. It might. In some cases, it might fix it. But most cases, it probably just... Well, I don't want to say for sure. But most of the times...
you could evacuate... You can't really evacuate planets, though.
You could, like they did to do with Cadia, you know. So you could have... I mean, a lot of planets have evacuation protocols because you never know when all of a sudden a demon portal opens up behind you and you're like, well, I guess that's it. I guess we gotta go, you know. Hopefully the Inquisition doesn't get there because they're probably going to kill everybody because they saw demons and you're not supposed to see those.
Oh,
so
are demons a secret?
Yeah, actually, most people in the Imperium...
Well, is it because if people know about demons, they'll make more demons?
You could, depending on the demon. But also, you understand, in the Imperium, most people don't even think Space Marines exist. Like, nobody's ever seen a Space Marine. Most people in the Imperium. It's like you seeing a Navy SEAL. It's like, yeah, you may think they exist. Maybe not even Navy SEALs because you know they exist. You have all the TV shows and stuff about them. But like I'm trying to think of like a mythical character.
I feel like it would be important for people to know that Space Marines exist because then they would know...
Like the Persian Immortals, right?
Do you know the Primarchs exist?
They're myth. They're like gods. It's like think of the Primarchs like Hercules.
Who do you think they?
Who
do they think governs them?
The Emperor, but
just like an Malleus Blau of the Emperor.
Yeah. Yeah. Most 95% of people in the Imperium have no idea the Emperor is like stuck on the Golden Throne. They think he's just ruling from Terra, just sitting there, just like doing things.
I guess people are like, what? It doesn't matter. It's whoever governs me on
the
my
planetary
planet.
Governor. Yes.
Versus, and also
why would I worry about Terra?
More local,
imagine
the person who governs my area of land.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Don't even think of it as the president of the United States. Think of it as like the Emperor is like if you have Terra, Earth is here, and you're on a planet 100 million light years away. You don't care at all about the Emperor. I mean, of course, you worship him as like a god. But, like, you care about what your landlord is saying because he's about to kick you out because, I don't know, he just doesn't like you.
It's important to know about these things because, I mean, what's their education system like?
Very poor.
Well, it's hard to keep people...
Unless you're a noble.
People under the thumb if you don't have a good education system.
Well, it's just easier because you can just say, if you don't do it, I'm going to kill you.
Well, I mean, I'm saying the propaganda.
Well, the propaganda is so powerful. You know, worship the Emperor or else you'll die, you know, stuff like that. But they don't tell, like... You think of it like super level medieval scaling, you know? Like most planets are peasant planets. Everybody there is a peasant dumb idiot.
Okay.
All their job is to do is to make product and die and make more humans. That's it. It's a whole purpose in life, and it sucks. That's what I'm saying. Most people don't even think demons don't exist to most people because it's just like you don't even think of that. Primarchs. That's like talking about the Greek gods. You know, like sure they could have existed, but it's like that's so unbelievable. You know, these things from 20,000 years ago. Whatever. Space Marines. Space Marines are almost like that's what I'm saying. Like Space Marines, like they probably exist, but like I'll never see one in my life because they're just never like they just don't.
Do people know about Silent Sisters?
Oh, I mean, maybe, very unlikely. You probably just know them as like they probably just would be lumped into like some weird.
What about like the saints? Do people know about saints?
Yes, they would worship the saints.
Okay.
Because those are part of the propaganda. They're very religious at this point in the current lore. It's like every super religious, every worships the saints, the God Emperor, all this stuff.
Are
which
all the
is
saints
so
women?
Antithetical to what the Emperor wanted, which is really funny. Are all the saints what?
Are all the saints women?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all sisters of battle usually that have died.
Oh, okay.
And they get empowered by the Emperor.
Because the Inquisition. And the Inquisition is mostly led by women?
No, it's led by everybody. The Inquisition is led by everybody, but the sisters of battle are a portion of the... Think of them like nuns in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, they seem to be the most religious faction out of all of them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it like Catholicism. Like, you have nuns, and it's a small part of Catholicism, so that's what sisters of battle. They're battle nuns, right?
So, like, I guess it's kind of like a matriarch. Well, not really. It's still patriarchal, but like...
Yes, but the Pope
all
is the
the
God
holy
Emperor.
figures, except for the Emperor, are all women. And all the people who are administer...
But they call
Are there priests or anything?
Kind of, but not really.
I was just wondering who administers the religion to lay people. If
There are priests of the Imperial cult, but they're just like regular guys. Whereas a sister of battle like specifically trained for combat.
I know. I was
Priests
wondering
are
if
just regular priests.
the Sisters of Battle...
Actually, that's not true. There have been... I shouldn't say that. There have been... I don't want to be incorrect here. There have been priests. Especially, actually... Maybe we'll do an episode on Sisters of Battle. There was a guy called Doge Van Dyer. Or... Doge Van Dyer? Or Dodge Van Dyer? Dodge?
Was it D-O-G-E?
I can't remember. No, it's...
It was D-O-G-E.
I've heard so many memes about people call him Doge Van Dyer because it's a meme. Goge Van Dyer, sorry. But people call him Doge Van Dyer because it's a funny meme. So Goge Van Dyer was this basically pope, but he was a very evil pope. And he would like, before the sisters formed, he was the pope, and he had basically a harem of women. And he was kind of just a freak for real. And he said, you have to have sex with me because the emperor want that. And they're like, well, if you say so, because you had the close, you know the emperor, so you had that, And then eventually the sisters were like, no, this is wrong, and they killed him. But anyways, yeah. So there has been some priests and some other stuff before that for the imperial cult, but a lot of the biggest figures are women.
Okay.
Most of the preachers like regular guys. Just wear robes.
Yeah, let's bring it back to the Sisters of Silence.
Yeah, the other sisters.
These sisters aren't religious. They're just
no,
here
they're not
to
religious
kill
at all.
people.
They don't worship the emperor because the emperor would hate that. So they just, but they venerate the emperor as like a king. So yes. Anyways, so the most I'm speaking is sign language. They, thought mark, battle mark, orcs code. It's different ways that they talk. So, but also the Sisters of Silence and Custodes were so close that sometimes they didn't even need to talk at all for them to know what they were thinking. Like they just look at like an eyebrow move or a certain way they move their face, and they could be like, "Oh, I know exactly what you're telling me," because they work together so close. So, and it's kind of where the Vigilant Indomitus stuff is kind of the end of the lore for them, anyway. So we'll get into kind of the more side stuff here. So the organization, you have your sister commander, who at one point was Janacia Kroll before she got beat up by Karn, which is dumb.
Who's it now?
It is a Surma. I don't know who she is. Yeah, obviously she's not a big deal. Janacia Kroll was the coolest one, because she did a lot. And then that's what I'm saying, it's such a dumb way for her to get killed. Just whatever. So look, they're not all winners. Some of the deaths in Warhammer. The Mistress of the Black Fleet, who oversees the Black Ships, and there's actually a part in Master of Mankind where I think it's Diocletian is talking to, because he's trying to figure out, some information is leaking out, or something weird happened, and he's like, he's trying to figure something. He's like, what is, like, why did this happen? Like, how is this happening? So he calls up the Sister of the Black Fleet, and he says, hey, I was going to ask you a question about some stuff. Like, you guys are running the Black Ships, right? And she's like, signs like, yes. He's like, okay. And you would know if anything was going weird with that, right? And she's like, yes. He's like, okay. And you would tell me if anything was going with it. She's like, yes. And he's like, okay. And then he like asked some other question. I can't remember what it was. And she hesitated for a second. And then she like said something, but then she had like a whole sentence. He's like, okay, well, all right. I'll call you back later if I need you. So she's very, I don't say she's like BDSM-y, But like she is probably the cruelest of the sisters. Most of them are kind of cruel, but they're also...
I don't know how that communicates that.
Because a lot of the sisters kind of have like a BDSM thing going on. Sisters of Battle too. Especially like when you get into the Repentia engines, they get like tied in these machines, chained up. It's, you know. It's more of a flagellant, I should say, more than BDSM-y. And then you have Nemesis Praxia, which is just their head coach. You have 4 great chambers, your Chamber of Vigilance, your Chamber of Oblivion. They also call them the Oblivion Knights too, is another word for kind of a group of them, which are more of the fighting force. The Chamber of Judgment, Chamber Astra, the Black Ship Command and Crew, which they always were together. Those black ships kept running. the ships ran on time, I'll say that. And you have your rank specialist roles, your acolytes, your novice sisters, your null maidens, your sister superiors, your elite ranks. You have your Oblivion Knights, Knight Centura, Knight Abyssal, Knight Excubiator, your witch seekers, specialist roles. I'm not going to go into all these. But anyways, also they can recruit too from certain worlds, tithe worlds. So there's something in Warhammer called tithe worlds. And it's a world that gives a tithing, obviously. But what that usually means is they'll give you money, they give you food, they could give you machines, robots, whatever you need. Sometimes they give you Space Marines, like children that are ready to be Space Marines. Sometimes they give you psykers, willingly. Not willingly, really. They kind of, usually the Imperium goes and says, you have to give us this or we're going to kill you. And they go, okay. Think of it like a government tax. And also for them, it's pariahs. They say, hey, you guys need pariahs. This guy is weird. I don't like the way she's looking at me. Take her. So it's kind of like they're like, oh, perfect. We need me to look for you.
Perfect.
Inquisitorial handovers. Rogue trader acquisition. Sometimes a rogue trader will find one and say, hey, if you give us a bunch of money, we'll give you this money. They'll say, oh, sounds good to us. And then some bloodline stuff. But that's all, you know. And they get trained. And then when they become a full sister, they take the vow of tranquility where they put the mask on and they don't talk anymore. They wear their armor, the Varantian armor, which she has the boob plate. They get the big sword. They get power axes. They get bolters. They get flamethrowers. They get psych out grenades, which basically are blank grenades that go through, and they make like a kind of EMP field.
I feel like the colors shouldn't be yellow and I guess it's gold and I guess it's supposed to align with the Imperium.
Well, it's also supposed to be the Custodian colors as well.
The
Custodians are also gold and red.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh. But yes, the Custodians are also gold and red. It's kind of the Imperium's color for a while. But yeah, they get the great swords, they get flamers, they get the grenades, they have Grav rhinos.
They have rhinos?
Well, Grav rhino. It's basically a tank type of tank. Okay. It's like not a tank, but it's like a transport vehicle. Okay. But it's a gravity, so kind of floats.
They probably should ride rhinos.
Rhinos. Well, rhinos don't exist anymore. None of the Earth animals really exist anymore because.
What?
Yeah, mass extinction events happen because of the Emperor. He's like, I want this planet terraformed now. Wait, also, not even that. During the Techno-Barbarian era, most of the world was like destroyed through nuclear warfare.
What kind of plants and animals do they have now?
Weird alien plants and animals? Oh. Yeah. No, there's still alien stuff.
I feel like terraforming the plants to not have animals on it is probably really bad.
Well, I would say that it wasn't terraforming from the Emperor. It was more terraforming from the Techno-Barbarian stuff. And nuclear bombs going off all the time back in the day.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, that kind of did it more. The Emperor was like, well, I have this wasteland. Let me just cover it in 1 million cities. Okay. I mean, Terra has a lot of people on it. It has trillions of people on it. It's like a hive world. Yeah. But also has a golden palace on it. So, but even people who live in the high world of Terra, everybody feels blessed because we get to be on the planet the Emperor's on. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you know, a lot of bad things still happen on Terra. There's gene stealer cults on Terra. There's chaos incursions because every single thing wants to kill the Emperor. Tyranids want to get the Emperor because he has so much life force, they want to eat on it. Chaos, of course, wants to get the Emperor.
Horus, the whole thing. You know, that whole thing.
That whole thing, it's a little blip in history. Orcs want to get the Terror because, I don't know, they heard about a cool guy that they want to fight him. The Tau don't really care that much because they're not really much of a thing. Like, they're not really a big interstellar thing like that. Necrons don't really care either.
Tau kind of stay in their own lane.
They don't. They want to expand as well, but they don't have warp travel like everybody else does. So they kind of slowly kind of drift across. No.
Can they just steal it?
They don't know how it works.
Oh, I don't get it.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an episode on the Tau. They're cool, but they're also like, they're kind of weird because they're kind of like.
They feel underbaked?
No, they just feel like they don't fit. They feel more Star Wars sci-fi than 40K. They're not grimdark enough, honestly.
I see.
Like, they're almost like if you put Avatar into 40K.
I see.
And it's like, I guess it works, but they all kind of have like, they're kind of like samurai coded. They have like mech suits and stuff. They're cool, but like,
I think mech suits are cool.
They are, but they have like laser swords and like They're all about like long distance combat. I don't know. They're cool, but something about them just doesn't fit in my mind. But anyways, some notable sisters.
They have jet bikes?
Yeah, they fly on jet bikes. Same thing that White Scars have and not Genghis.
Yeah, do they hang out with the cons? Do they the con?
No, they don't like Primarchs. They don't like. Doesn't matter who the Primarch is.
Because they're custody-ish factions. They hate.
Yes, they don't really like Space Marines. They don't really like Primarchs, except for most of them get along with Sanguinius, because Sanguinius was he was the poster boy for the Imperium.
Because he was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was a cool guy, and they're like, if I had to pick, I did like him the most, but they still didn't trust him. They never trusted any of the Primarchs. And they're like, and then the Horus Heresy happened. They're like, I knew it. Yeah. So that's Sisters of Silence. We kind of went all over the place with that.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's good. It's a good episode of just stuff. How long
okay, top Sister of Silence for you.
We'll go for a while. I mean, of course, Janisha Kroll, right? Like, she's the most, especially in Master of Mankind, she's just cool. She does a bunch of cool stuff.
All right.
But at the same time, and it's like, honestly, Sisters aren't, and a lot of people complain about this, Sisters aren't very... You want to have half-baked. They really don't have a lot about them. Like, they do, but they don't.
Well, they sound like a very small faction.
They are. And people do want more lore about them. Because it's kind of like, they mostly do stuff during the Horus Heresy, and that's it.
Yeah, top Sisters of Silence moment.
It's hard, but probably... I mean, Siege of Terra was good. Probably the War Within the Webway is probably their biggest thing. So yeah, Janisha Kroll. The Soulless Queen of the Imperium. She does a lot of stuff in the Webway. It's all the Webway stuff was good for them. She was born on Terra. So, here's your little mini. I should have showed you her mini. It's okay.
I like this other picture of her where she's in, like, action. She looks great.
The old art is so cool, though.
This one right here.
Oh, yes.
She looks awesome.
Yeah, she is cool. And then, what if Karn just kills her? And, like, one... So, actually, let me read the part here.
How long do they live?
They can live forever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not forever, but very, very... Some custodians have been alive for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So during the Siege of Terra, Kroll decided to venture out and fight defenses against the doomed Eternity Wall spaceport. She kept her reasoning for doing so to herself, knowing that she would die in battle. Kroll appointed her trusted second command, Aphone Ire, as her successor to lead the Silent Sisterhood. Then she fought at the Eternity Wall spaceport, displaying ability not to only appear near invisible to demons, but also to stare at humans because of her whole blank thing. Mm-hmm. During the battle, she saved Army Trooper Olenius Piers, from a World Eater. As the port fell, Kroll slew many World Eaters, but was confronted by Captain Karn, now swelling with the powers of Khorne. She engaged him in battle, but was slain by the Berserk World Eater, who was not certain who he just slain due to Kroll's near invisibility.
Huh? What was it?
Well, actually, it's so funny, because in the book, he has a kill counter on his, helmet, and he's going...
He's a kill counter on his helmet? Yeah, that's so funny! That's so goofy!
Well, the more kills, the more rewards he
How
gets.
do you know how many people you've killed?
It updates every time you kill somebody.
Are you looking at their heartbeat? Are you have heartbeat sensors?
Yes. Well, actually, a lot of...
And how do you know it was you that did it?
A lot of World Eaters, not World Eaters, Khorne people in general, they get a weird heart vision, like a blood vision, where they can see people's heart beating. So, every time he kills somebody, he probably just check for a second, is the heart stopped? Okay, I'll move on. So he has a kill counter. So he's killing these people. It goes up.
Gotta fill my rings with
yeah.
How many kills you got?
Well, he's about to get the UAV. All right, leave him alone. So he's killing the whatever. His counter going up and up and up. And then all of a sudden it goes up by one. He's like, wait, what? Why did it go up by one? I didn't kill anybody. And he's like, kind of weird. And then he moves on. Because he doesn't even realize he killed her. It's so... Wait, come on. It's dumb. She
went plink.
So Karn is cool because, he has big old armor. Karn's cool. It's just... I think the way she gets killed is dumb. It should be a whole cool fight scene. But it's no, he's just I got another kill, well, whatever, and then moves on. I do like his little blue hair, his little Hakuni Misu hair. His little blue hair.
Miku.
Hakuni Miku, sorry. I was like, what am I doing? Hakuni Miku.
Hatsune.
Hatsune Miku, goodness. I'm having a stroke. This video's too long. Alright. Anyways, unless you have any questions, we're going to wrap it up there.
I think I'm going to have to hold my questions.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there for this episode. Almost done an hour and a half. Goodness gracious. We're going to cut a lot of this out. A lot of it was just rambling. Side tangents. But anyways, all right. And if that's all, if you guys enjoy it, like, subscribe, and all that. If you made this far, thanks for listening to the whole video. That's cool.
Bye.
Bye.